The movie begins by showing us the classic statement from the Three Little Pigs about the wolf blowing down the house. This segues into Chapter 1, Little Pigs. Emily approaches a building covered in graffiti with her cameraman Brian. Entering the building, Emily says this is where an unspecified they commit the assassinations. It is a dark, ruined place, certainly suitable for what Emily described. Later she calls Brian to look at a door she calls weird. It is a freestanding door, making her ask why it's like this. Once they hear a sound, Brian goes to investigate it. He hears Emily scream and runs back to her. Now he sees the freestanding door being open. While he inspects the door, a scary black face with red eyes appears out of nowhere. At this moment, someone has stopped this video on their computer. The person is our protagonist, Sam, sharing the chilling video with her friend Ash. Sam thinks it is the duo's next film. She says Emily has been missing for 1 month. But Ash does not think that is a good reason for her to join Sam in this project. Sam advises Ash to take her time to think about it. The next scene has Ash traveling to a certain house at night. She finds a note on the front door that reads for Emily to get in touch because her friends are worried about her. Chapter 2 is titled, The Guy Behind the Camera. Sam is with Ash, talking to Brian via the intercom at his building. She tells him they spoke over email about the interview for Sam's documentary. Hence he grants them access to the building. The friends see Brian and he behaves oddly by not saying anything to them. He just enters his flat upon being greeted by Ash. This prompts her to quietly ask Sam what is wrong with him. Inside his apartment, the interview begins with him saying he was working on a big project that he needed people like Emily for. He says Emily went missing through the door, which should be left alone. The response he gets from his interviewers is they can't do that. He asks if they ever read about long-term nuclear waste warnings. Brian says it remains dangerous for thousands of years, or even tens of thousands, so the waste gets buried or stored. But the amount of time he mentioned is a long time to keep something secure. He asks how one communicates to a society 10,000 years from now that they should not open that door. He concludes this interview by saying when something beyond one's understanding tells them something is dangerous, one should believe it the first time. Afterward, the friends are at home. They have brought the special door in there. Sam says if she believed Brian, she would not have brought the door home. This brings us to Chapter 3, The Other Side. Sam talks to the camera, saying it's her first attempt to see what lies beyond the door. She opens it to reveal a mirror. She calls Brian an idiot because she thinks he saw his reflection and got scared. Ash takes her time to touch the mirror. Once she does, something startles her. She says it made her feel odd. She is about to touch it again and a woman appears, saying she wants to see. She is Sam's mother, who is confused that her reflection doesn't show. Of course, this frightens all of them. It causes Sam to close the door. She tells her mom to open it. The door swings open, and she sees a small dog with a bright aura surrounded by darkness. The strangest thing of all is that the dog starts to talk. It says it has taken a form that will not spark fear in them. However, she closes the door, not wanting to hear the rest. Later, the friends sit on the couch, feeling uneasy about what happened. Ash says when she touched the mirror, it wasn't a mirror. It felt like she was touching someone, like another her. Soon they start to guess what the door is. Ash's first guess is it's a gateway to hell. It being a multiverse key also gets considered. They accumulate several sticky notes of guesses on the wall regarding what the door might be. Ash wonders if they can go through the door, but Sam is more worried about things coming from there into the house. On the second night, they see someone standing outside their building, looking weird. Sam stands near the door, calling to her mother. Following this, they attach a camera to a remote-controlled car before they open the door. It shows them a very different interior, and they send the car inside to see it is a play place for kids. Turning the car around, the friends see the door is still there, showing Sam's apartment. They explore the area for a short time with the car until we enter Chapter 4, Pandemonium. The ladies put an object near the door to prevent it from closing behind them. They walk through the special doorway to explore the play place directly. Sam thinks Emily is there. She yells out to the missing woman, but Ash tells her to be quiet. Moving along, they see a sign that Ash says is in the Gujarati language. She slightly knows it and believes the statement means free hugs. As they go further, the duo sees more signs in other languages. It doesn't take long for Sam to get startled by seeing a big stuffed panda. Sam records the bear, and Ash says they should go because the place is creepy. They quickly learn it is much more than merely creepy once the panda stands, blinking its fake eyes a few times prior to having tentacles emerge from its back. This makes the explorers run away in fear. Getting back to the door, they try to close it, yet the panda's tentacles get in the way. Thankfully, they manage to do it. Later, a shovel stands at the door's handle for extra security. Chapter 5 shows us a second opinion. Professor Innes is lecturing a class, asking his students what reality is. He says if it's something they can see or touch, this would imply dreams are real. On the other hand, things regarded by everyone to be real, like galaxies, will never be touched. He asks if what they imagine can create a new reality. Many parallel universes can exist with minor differences instead of big ones, like where the Nazis won the war. After class, the duo comes to Innes and Sam says they have something that might interest him. In the next scene, they show him what they have recorded. Sam thinks it's a doorway to other worlds. The professor wants to show them something similar, so he finds a video on the internet for them to watch. It was recorded in Mexico in 1997. It starts in the woods with very hazy video quality. The person recording enters a building with a lot of graffiti. Walking through it, they appear outside again. There are many yellow balloons on the ground. The person hears a growl and sees an injury on their leg. Looking around, they briefly see a yellow balloon monster coming toward them. This concludes the strange video. Ash asks Innes many questions regarding the special door. He says there is a theory that says an ancient civilization figured out a way to reach other planes of existence. We see a painting of numerous people walking in a wooded area toward a freestanding door. Most of them are dressed in dark robes, but the ones in front are colorful for an unknown reason. Innes says that sufficiently advanced technology appears to be magic. With magic comes superstition. When there is superstition, people eventually commit destruction in its name. We see the unsettling drawings showing such destruction as he talks about this. Sam tells him a woman went missing through their door, and they want to help find her. The problem is that every time they open the special door, it leads them to a different place. Chapter 6 is all about ideas. Innes is now in their home, looking at the door. He tries something by asking Sam what her favorite animal is. Alas, she says she's not 7 years old. Thus he asks this question to Ash, to which she replies, "It's the humpback whale." Innes opens the door and is amazed that it is real. He ventures through the doorway without even being cautious. The ladies follow him into a wooded place that has, of all things, a pyramid. The professor says all imagined worlds exist. They can imagine going there. If the random pyramid wasn't weird enough, they observe humpback whales flying in the sky. It prompts Innes to say, if they can imagine it, it's a world that exists. Subsequently, they are back at home, where Innes thanks them for showing him this phenomenon. Sam asks if a world exists where lobsters are the dominant species on the planet. He believes a world like that certainly exists. But once she asks if there is a world made of marshmallows, he says there probably is not unless there were alternate laws of physics. He gets asked if an actual hell can exist, and he says hell is this world. They talk about Sam's projects. She claims to try very hard, along with wanting to be the best. She didn't anticipate this project to be real. A version of her mother exists in another part of the universe, she says. During everyone's bedtime, the door to other dimensions opens on its own. When it closes, we see someone walking away. Soon Ash screams and rushes to them. She says something was watching her that she thinks was a person. Hence, they go into Ash's room, with Sam leading the way. She gets startled upon finding Emily in there. Emily gets on the floor to cry, yet Ash says she is safe now. The next scene has them all sitting on the couch. Sam says they contacted Brian, who is on his way to meet Emily. In the meantime, Sam asks if Emily remembers where she was. The lady answers she was in a dark area, and there may have been a church. A door appeared which she used to enter this home. Monsters occupied the world she visited. In a short time, a buzz arrives at the door, making Ash go out there to meet Brian. Oddly, once she returns with the man, Emily asks where Brian is. The imposter equips himself with a stun gun and creates chaos we don't witness because the camera falls. We barely see him dragging one of them through the magical door. Later, Sam is the first to wake up from the stun she received. She awakens Innes along with Emily. This means the person who was taken is Ash. Emily wonders who the man with the stun gun is. Sam tells Innes she needs to stop the imposter. He reminds her to imagine where she wants to go. She needs to picture Ash clearly, and that will get her to the right place. Meanwhile, Innes says he will search for Brian at the latter's flat. This brings us to Chapter 7, The Final Expedition. Sam opens the special door to enter a beach that has several freestanding doors. Emily is with her. One of the doors has Evie written on it. Sam knows the man could have taken Ash through any of these doors. She opens one of them and sees the small dog again. It says at last she has come to accept its guidance. But she closes the door on the talking dog a second time. Reopening it shows her a different place. The duo traverses a ruined area with a lot of graffiti. Emily becomes frightened upon seeing a giant humanoid near them. This causes them to run out of this world. Now Emily wants to try going through a door. She opens another one, and they step inside a dark house. The first thing they hear is someone screaming in horror from a distance. Curiosity drives them to descend a spiral staircase. They find a second Emily lying on the floor, covered in blood. Seeing this, Sam says it's the wrong universe. She also sees a giant hand behind the window. It is their cue to run out of this world. As they do, they see a shadowy being in the distance, looking their way. Back on the beach, Sam tells Emily it was another Emily in there. She adds, there could be infinite versions of themselves. Emily wonders if there is an infinite amount of her perishing like that. Of course, Sam does not know. She takes a moment to tell Emily that her mom passed away last year. It robbed her of everything. Sam told her mother she loved her. She saw her 2 days ago in an alternate universe, and she looked fine. But she slammed the door in her daughter's face. Sam declares she will find her Ash, not some other Ash. Chapter 8 is about existential pain. Innes resides in Brian's building, knocking on the door to his flat. Discovering that it's open, he opens it further to enter the apartment. He looks for Brian and can't find him. So he uses Brian's open laptop to find a video titled, "Those That Doubted." The guy who pretended to be Brian is on it, saying he tried to be the way others wanted him to be, yet now he's sick of trying to fit in. He's sick of trying to please people he doesn't care about. They look at him like he's nothing. Despite him praying a lot, there was no answer. Thus, he created the answer. We see him undergoing a painful ritual that allows him to create the special door. Opening it, he sees a giant finger emerge from the doorway. He enters it. Afterward, he brings the door to the abandoned building, where it was first discovered. The guy hides while Brian and Emily are there. As Emily inspects the door, the guy pushes her into it from behind. Following the time Brian fled from what he saw, this guy spied on him from outside the former's apartment. He got Brian to open the door for him and stun Brian with his stun gun. When Innes finishes watching the video, he hears something. He finds a trapdoor he opens, saying Brian can come out because it's now safe. Since no one is answering him, he ventures down there with his phone light. Innes finds an odd mist on the floor and the ceiling. He sees someone fall through the mist on the ceiling into the mist on the floor. Brian falls from the ceiling, and Innes informs him he knows Emily. Chapter 9 is called All Good Things. Back on the beach, Emily opens another door, which has the guy who created the door emerge. He escapes into another doorway, making Sam tell Emily to find Ash while she chases the guy. Therefore, she begins to chase him in a city. During the chase, they enter several other worlds due to the guy's special ability. One of the worlds is a futuristic battlefield. In the next world, Sam collects a special item the guy dropped by accident before entering a portal to the new world. There, the guy tackles her to the ground. He says she doesn't know what she's dealing with. She uses the item she collected to draw a circle on a rock. It opens a small portal that shoots out certain things that hit the guy. Tentacles also emerge to wrap around his legs. Sam draws a bigger circle on a rock that allows her to fall through it, back on the beach with the doors. She enters the doorway of the dark house again, with the spiral staircase to find Ash and Emily. Once they all leave this world, they encounter the maniac on the beach. He has somehow managed to escape the tentacles. He wants them to know he has a god on his side who is cleansing the world. He tells this god to destroy the ladies, yet the god destroys him instead. One isn't supposed to tell a god to do something. Soon the god begins destroying the doors. Ash wants them to return to their home world before all the doors get destroyed, but Sam doesn't want to go. She says she is done feeling helpless. She can't go back to her world. She wants the perfect one. Hence Ash leaves without her friend. They shut the door, and upon reopening it, they see it's no longer a portal. 7 months later, Ash speaks to the camera. She says Sam is still missing and hopes she is happy wherever she may be. Ash takes out a small door from a gym bag. She says they learned how to create the special doors in Brian's place. Sam wasn't cut out for this world, she adds. However, Ash can't live anywhere else. She opens the small door and sees the small dog. It asks her if she is ready to begin.